And this is Kirby at Electric Fossil Studio in Milford, Delaware, and I want to give a local spotlight to Junior Wilson. So, Junior Wilson is a guitar player, a recording engineer, a guitar repairman, an overall performer, and good guy. So, Junior is the guy that a lot of people that I know over the years have just taken. I've got a special guitar that needs a repair or something. I want to get it just a quick setup. I want to make sure this is the right stuff. You take it to Junior. He's been your go-to, for so many years and so many people. A lot of the stores in the area send their stuff to Junior, especially the difficult things. He's the guy that they go to. Um, so Junior has had a life that has kind of flowed with the time of music. It's really amazing. So let me give you some highlights of Junior's career in the music industry. So his family's from Milford, and or at least he grew up in Milford anyway. And they had a music store, the Wilson's Music Store, and they sold musical instruments, guitars, and basses. Now that's cool, very cool, as a matter of fact. And they were located at 8 South Walnut Street, which is where Gallery 37 is right now, right next to the Second Street Players. Um, that's cool, except for the fact that it's amazing because it's during the 50s and the 60s. So Junior got to see and play and touch in all of those guitars that are worth gobs of money today. All those Strats and Gibsons and Gretches and Rickenbackers and all that fun stuff. He got to play. He got to set up and put fresh strings on. Amazing. What a great foundation of like appreciation for what a quality instrument is. Um, then in the early 60s, Junior got into the banjo. That was kind of where he got some of the bug from what I'm understanding from his website. Then he played in several bands, and I'll kind of rattle off a few and give you one of my favorites. So he played in The Sovereign in the 1966. Then 1968, he moved to Love Special Delivery, LSD, as you can kind of figure out, late 60s, what that was all about. Then 75, he started a band called The Serenade, which they played top 40 music. Then we're getting into kind of one of my favorite times of his career is the Heartbeats in 1980, which they play like the Rudder in the local areas, party band. And then the Movies in 1982, which the original formation had Ray Strube, the great Bobby Barr, and of course Junior Wilson. Power Pop Trio. I think they brought in Rick Beck to make it a four-piece later on. But that started in 1982 and was all the way until 2015, on and off throughout that time. Amazing group. I was lucky enough to catch them in the mid 2000s, and incredible, incredible. And if you go on Junior's website, you can hear some of their songs. They also performed with the Circles in the early 90s. And then it's been pretty much Junior Wilson, solo, Junior Wilson and friends throughout that time. And then now you can catch them, Junior Wilson and Chatty. He's still performing to this day. Authentically performing with amazing vintage instruments or period correct instruments. So it sounds like the record. And he's such a brilliant guitar player. And the sounds that he has, it's just on, it's spot on. So not only did he perform with all of these bands, he also was a recording engineer, had a studio at his house, and he recorded over 160 jingles for local businesses in the area. Amazing. Amazing. So the thing that I appreciated most about Junior is that he's repaired every, guitars going back to my Fender Jag Stang. He was the first person that kind of set that up and kind of got that correct or tweaked for me a little bit. And that was the first time I got to talk with him and kind of hear some of his stories. And then later on, when I had my first Warmoth guitar, brought it to him, and I sat there for 2 hours, and he's told me some of these stories about some of these bands and his parents' music store and all the instruments that he's seen, his opinion on different gear and everything else. Very, very generous with his time, especially for talking with this guy. It's just amazing. So, uh, if you don't know him, go check him out. He's an incredible musician, incredible banjo player, and great dude. So, thanks to Junior for everything you've done. Thanks to your family for being here for the time that they did. I know a lot of the guitar players in the area, especially. It's kind of take it to Junior is one of the things that I've heard as far as guitar repair and things like that. But it's important, and I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you did what you've done for the area and for Milford.